Okay, haters, get your fingers poised over your keyboard, because in this video we're going to be taking another look at the MSK1 survival system from David at Ultimate Survival Tips. This time we're going to take a look at the included survival kit. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. So, man, oh man, I've stirred up a storm just taking a look at this knife. Again, David from Ultimate Survival Tips was kind enough to send me his Ultimate Survival package, the MSK1, with all the goodies with it, and did a video a little while back about this, just kind of an introductory first look at the knife. And I said in that video we're going to be taking a long-term look at this system, because that's really what it is. It's not just a knife. The first thing we looked at was the knife, the main knife itself, which is the MSK1 survival knife right here. And this knife has got a lot of drama, partly because of the price, because this package altogether is like $500. And I think mostly a lot of the criticism is, again, as I said in the first video, because in addition to having a really good outdoor skills, David over there at Ultimate Survival Tips is got mad video production skills. I mean, I think that's actually one of his businesses now is video production. He does a really good job at it. And so, you know, I guess that just people think it's all hypey, but bottom line for me is how well does this stuff perform. So this is a system, not just a knife, and this is a survival knife. One of the things I think is really cool about it is inside this handle there's a survival kit. So without me doing any more rambling, I've probably eaten up 5 or 6 minutes already. We're going to take you down the old stump top. I'm going to show you a bit of survival kit, and we're going to put it to use, because in my opinion, I'm sure it's a good kit, because it's from Wazoo Survival, and I know those guys. I have reviewed their stuff before. I went camping with them. They are the real deal. They really practice what they preach, and they really focus on providing high quality components that they're very smart, tiny and small, and will fit in a small place. And I've got really good experience working with their stuff so far, so I have no doubt I probably used all the stuff that's in here in the past. We're going to show you and do it right here on camera again and see how well this stuff performs. So let me quit rambling now and get you down the old stump top before it gets too dark. Okay, so here we are with the MSK1 Ultimate Survival Tips knife, and you can notice a couple of things that I find is interesting about the handle. You see it's got regular flathead screws, because inside here these things come off, and inside here there's some hollow places for a survival kit. And just to show you, I've got a quarter, a nickel, a dime, and a penny, and those little GI can openers. Everything will fit in here. You can use a quarter and just open those screws just like so with a quarter. You can use a nickel, which is even wider. Fits right in there. You can certainly use a little GI can opener if you got that. It fits right in. It fits inside the slide. It's just perfectly sized. I don't even know if that was on purpose, but that's a pretty cool little feature there for David. So let's put this money back in my pocket so I don't lose it. And we'll use the GI screwdriver. So you'll notice also one of the side of those screws is a stainless steel bow drill divot. And we took a look at that, and it's reversible for your right or left hand, or however you want to use it. But I'm just going to turn these over, pull these screws out. And once you get them loose, they're really actually big enough to use your hands. Set it over here. I do not want to lose these in the pine straw. You got to be really careful about stuff like that. So, you got that, ladies, here. You just take the handle off, and you can see inside it's packed up in there pretty good. So, I actually put that in there earlier. So, I just want to show you that it goes in there, and it does all fit. So David actually sent me a spare survival kit, so I don't have to bust this one out. I'm going to show you what all the stuff does. So I'm going to put this back together now. And the only problem I had, and I didn't really do it like he recommended, was getting these two extra Ranger bands in there. And probably now that I got one side on, I could just lay that in like so. And probably lay that in like so. And this will probably just fit right in there like, let me just show you. Like now that I'm improving upon my own design, so we got there's little cutouts on both sides there, so you got a little extra room there. We'll put that on there and push it down, squeeze it together, because those Ranger bands are kind of springy. And just get the screws started. I'm just going to show you can put this thing back together with the survival kit in it, and go ahead and tighten those up. We'll bust the kit out and show you how it works. Okay, One thing I will say is that I tried everything I could think of in the kit here that comes in this particular sheath system, and I wish there was something here, some way that was part of the deal to unscrew these screws here, because you got to have an external something that's not part of the package, and that would be pretty cool if there's a way to do that. But just a little GI can opener, it actually does really well. So let me get this out of the way, set you out of the way, and let me just show you what is in these actual survival kits. So first of all, the card that shows you what everything is, it actually shows you the best way to fit them in here. But here's what we've got. We've got a water bag, which is right here. So inside your knife, a container is something that's always really difficult, in my opinion, to reproduce in the wild. Maybe the hardest thing other than a knife. You can even use a piece of flint or chipped rock as a cutting tool, but it's really difficult in a lot of places to make a container. You know, maybe if you live where there's birch or whatever, that might be one thing. But I just want to show you how big this bag is. Just 32 fluid ounces, a 1 liter bag. It is heat resistant and food grade. This is not just a cheap plastic bag, which is something I found about Wazoo Survival. This is not some cheap Chinese junk that they outsource to Alibaba or wherever you get it from, or any Randy Yeager, you know what I'm talking about. This is they source their stuff from really good, high quality sources. And so there's a 32 ounce, 1 liter water bag, which is pretty cool right there. They've got 2 Ranger bands. I'm sorry, 3, one around the bag, and these are elastic material. They're small bands. They also burn really well because it's fire extenders. But something you can do if you need a couple little rubber bands, you can take this thing, and you got a smaller rubber band you might use for some kind of repair or whatever, because this works a little easier than that. You can also use it as a fire extender or fire starter, and I'm just going to set it aside for a minute to show you that, because you know I like me some fire stuff. So set these aside. The next thing that's in here is a mini fire steel, which is really cool. This is also small enough to fit in the handle of the MSK1 Mini if you would do a paracord wrap on it. So you could actually use this in it and have a little fire steel in here with a paracord wrap, which is pretty cool too, maybe in another video. There is 20 foot, a 50-pound braided fishing line, and it's sealed up inside a little straw there. This is not just a normal drinking straw that's been melted around this. This is a thick, pretty heavy-duty straw thing there, or plastic sleeve. Yeah, it's definitely a lot heavier than a drinking straw. We'll take a look at that. So 20 foot of 50-pound test braided line. So that could be used for snares, could be used for, obviously, just for good old fishing, and could also be used to drive you back crazy if you're trying to get it out here in it. You have to find the end of it in an emergency. You know, you can't just. All right, there we go. So you get it pulled off there. That's pretty good. 50-pound test. You could use that for building shelter. You can use it for fishing. You can use it for setting snares. You could use it for anything you need some cordage for. It's 20 foot of cordage. So set that aside. Pretty good there. Okay, then the next item in here is a little fishing first aid sharps kit. I call this a sharps kit. And you can see inside there we've got, well, you know what? Let me just take it out for you. Why not just show you what's in there? Because you might think I'm, you know, since this is, you know, we're all such crooks and shills and sellouts, you might think I'm lying about this. There's really nothing in here. This is all just a printed tube. It's a piece of a picture and not the real thing. So, well, you wouldn't think that, but some people might. So, anyway, I'm doing this on camera where you can see it, and I'm trying not to drop this stuff in again, the holes and pine straw and everything else I got going on out here at the outdoor studio. So there's 3 split shot, there are 3 little small hooks, and there are 2 brass safety pins. I always heard that you can catch a big fish with a small hook, but it's hard to catch a small fish with a big hook. We're looking for food, not wall hangers here, so there's that. There's also a magnetized needle, so you can use that for a compass, float it. And we might just try that in just a minute just to show you. So those are the 2, so far we got 2 little packs. There are a couple other little packs in here, and these are first aid tinder. They're individual first aid tinder packs. They're triple antibiotic with a topical pain reliever on cotton tinder. And basically, let's just show you how that works. So you can use these to treat a wound, or to keep from getting infected, or to help the pain, or you can also use these to help start a fire. So just squeeze it out here, and it's not like gooey impregnated, it's just got enough on there that you can use it. And what I'm going to do is just bust this thing open a little bit, see if we can get us a fire going up over here. Get rid of them skeeters. Can you see that right there? Is that a good place? Okay. So I got that kind of tenderized up there. Let me just spread it out some. Then we'll take our little ferro rod, because you might not have bought the entire system that has the other ferro rod with it. We're going to see if we can strike it. We can get a fire going right here. This is a small rod, so this is I would probably use the bigger rod if I could. But I'm trying to keep this just as real as I can, so nobody says I'm selling out. It's a new rod too. It's got all that coating on it. Now, this is a little bitty rod. I'm having a hard time holding it right here, and this is not the best way to strike it. In a real survival situation, I might even use the blade, but we're not going to do that. Actually, if I got this knife with me, then I'm going to have the big ferro rod with me too, but this is just, maybe you lose your everything. Come on, baby, you need to burn. You trying to burn on me, aren't you? Oh yeah, that's a nest right there. That's a nest. Oh. Okay, we got it. Now, here's when you take this little thing right here, and you put it on there, your little extra plastic, and get it going. Set it up there and let it burn. Take a piece of your Ranger band, let it burn on there. Might should have made it smaller, but it should catch. Let's see if it catches. I believe it will. I believe it will. Look at it. There it goes. I can smell it. So, in spite of just trying to keep it completely real with you, I would probably, again, if I had the system with me, I would have this big ferro rod. But I want to show you that the kit itself is not gimmicky junk like a couple people said. It's a very functional, very high quality combination of gear. Okay, in the interest of doing just as thorough a review as possible, I don't want anybody to think I'm like sandbagging on because I like David, but I've got the needle here, which this is a magnetized needle. So I'm just going to verify that. This is from, again, this is from Wazoo Survival, I have no doubt. I've got here my trusty Boy Scout compass, which is correct. It's pointing to north. You can see right, let's just put it over here where you can see it. You got some metal in the way. Look at that. Look at that. Is that not amazing? That just shows you what the influence of metal can do. Because there it is. That's pretty close to right. At least it does this. So it does it to this little compass. Let's move it over here and see. Okay, so basically this straight edge of this card here, we'll say this stick here, is pointing towards north, and you can see that. There's the Boy Scout compass, right? So we'll set it there because the tripod might be squinted up. I'm going to take this needle right here. I don't even know if you can see that. I'll try to put it, hopefully you can see. I'll get you a close-up. I'm just going to drop it in the water at a right angle even, and we'll see. Let it float. Let it spin around. And wow, would you look at that? Can you see that? It's oriented in almost north-south, with the actual sharp part pointing south. See the needle right there pointing, there it is right there, pointing that way, and there's the compass pointing that way. That's real close to and for a magnetized needle, I'd say that's pretty good. Okay, that was a probably rambling look at the survival kit that is part of the Ultimate Survival Tips MSK1 survival knife system. And it fits inside the handle here and inside these handle scales. I had no doubts that it was going to be a quality kit because I'm very familiar with the folks at Wazoo Survival, and like I said, they put out a really high quality selection of really micro survival gear. And they got a couple other cool things you're probably going to see on the channel from time to time. But anyway, fits right inside there with these micarta handles. Even the everything just plain works in it. So I'm sorry to inform the steering committee members for the Internet Outdoor Expert panel, but the survival kit rocks. It's not a cheap gimmicky kit. It's a really great selection of really high quality components, in my opinion. There's that. So this has been episode 2, I guess, if you're keeping them in chronological order, of the MSK1 season 1 drama. We'll call it that way. Again, what I'm going to do with this system is I'm going to check out the individual components, probably in separate videos. We're also going to do some long-term testing. I'm going to use this thing, and so this is going to be my Boy Scout camping knife, because there's been so much hate around this thing. I just want to see if it actually works. And by the way, it is not a hollow ground. Mine is not a hollow ground. I checked it with a metal straight edge, and I'll show you that on another video, but I just want to, it's not hollow ground. There's been, you know, we're going to talk about the steel, we're going to talk about the grind, we're going to talk about the price, all that stuff. So stay tuned for more episodes in the MSK1 series. Hopefully about every couple of weeks, probably going to try to do those. We'll just kind of see how my schedule permits. And once again, thanks to Dave at Ultimate Survival Tips for sending me this so I could do a long-term evaluation. And so far, I'm pretty confident this is going to be a very functional system. So anyway, that's it for today. And so if you want to have a little fun, just check it out. See how quick we can get to, you know, how many thumbs down we get in the first hour. So anyway, as always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. I put out a brand new video every Friday and Saturday, and very often random videos throughout the week. You can check out a new one right here behind me. If you're not subscribed, please click down that link right down there. Subscribe, click that little bell so you can get notified when I put out new videos, and you won't miss a single exciting episode of the MSK1 soap opera. So anyway, my name is Brian. Thanks for watching. Remember, survival is not an accident. Be prepared. I'll see you next time.